Hello, my name is Daniel Bezden. In this video, I'm going to tell you more about this business service called Just Give Me the Price that creates leads and sales with instant online quotes specifically for HVAC systems, and why it's so important to pursue this in the light of selling to the new generation of HVAC shoppers. A little bit about myself. I grew up in South Africa. It's a country about the size of Texas on the southern tip of Africa. Grew up in a city called Pretoria where Elon Musk grew up, and still have a house in Cape Town. It's a beautiful city. I didn't have any air conditioning growing up, and for that reason my YouTube channel is called Daniel Discovers Comfort, Clear Guidance for AC Shopping. So you'll see how all of this ties together. During my early years in South Africa, I trained as a photographer. I got published from a very young, professionally published from a very young age. And during my 2 years of military service, I worked as a photographer in an infantry division. We had South Africa's Vietnam going on this war between Southwest Africa and Angola. And I spent a lot of time there. After I got out of the army, I studied hotel management. But ended up getting back into the publishing industry, which is what I grew up in, and started a calendar publishing business that I ended up selling to one of my employees, and it's still going strong today. Then we moved to the States. My wife is from East Texas, and when 9/11 happened, her emotional reaction was to come back home. So we had family in Austin, and that's where we moved to. In Austin, we opened a business called the Studio Kitchen, which made meals for busy families. And this is where I really cut my teeth in marketing in America. I did print media, postcards, email promotions, and lots of social media work, particularly video related. And this industry changes very fast. So unlike most guys in my age group that have sort of fallen behind it, I've managed to stay on top of what's happening, and I really embrace the latest trends, and I think that's super important nowadays. So after the Studio Kitchen was well established, I opened a kitchen and bath remodeling business, and we specialized in helping IKEA customers. We actually did projects all over Texas, Houston, Dallas, and in Austin. And again, I created lots of social media for that business. I did all the photography that you see, all the promotion for this business. So a very interesting thing happened in this business that was really the start of this whole online bidding concept. My oldest son, Jaeger, handled our sales, and one day he came to my business partner and I and said, I saw 10 people this week and 8 of them are never going to buy from us. I wasted 4 hours, that's 32 hours a week. And we were like, welcome to the club. Anyway, we trained him to go take pictures, measurements, go back to the office, put it all in a spreadsheet where we had a line item choice of all the things you could do in a remodel. The whole thing would take about 4 hours, and we'd email to the customer. And at a 20% closing rate in that kind of business, we lived really well. But Jaeger went and developed an instant way to do this, where he would really just take 2 measurements across the room, ask about 15 questions, and could instantly provide an estimate. And here is the customer reaction on video of the impact that had. Check this out.
So you came over and kind of walked through. I remember you had a clipboard and a very detailed sheet and you gave me an estimate on the spot, which I don't think I was really expecting. I think out of the gate, you answered, you came over within the week, you had the clipboard, I got the estimate. I was like, oh, wow, okay, we're moving along.
So in 2021, still during COVID, we decided to move to Atlanta. And initially, I worked on this project with Jaeger, creating new content and helping him to take this concept online. Very complex thing to do in kitchen remodeling. And when he first originated that he wanted to do this, I was like, no, people want to meet with you in person and you have to make that personal connection. And he's like, Dad, millennials just want the price. And that was really sort of the start of my change in viewpoint and understanding of how the new generation likes to shop. This is critical because they're very fast. They're assimilation of information, the ability to look at things and the speed with which they can consume things is very different. So I consider myself lucky because he helped keep my head in the space of what the new generation wants. So during that same period after moving to Atlanta, I became certified in doing software development with a product called Ignition from a company called Inductive Automation. They are the leaders in the field of developing software for industrial automation. And I eventually retooled this business for my youngest son, Kyle, who's a real wizard at doing this stuff. I personally found I'm just not the kind of guy that can be at a desk all day long. But this really sort of kept my head in the software development space also. And then finally, I helped my third son, I had 3 of them, to create this website that him and my wife has that promotes art and fashion. And I actually have a component on here called Lifestyle and Gadgets. And what this is about is I do product reviews for Amazon. Now, this is a really critical part of the story. So this is my Amazon store page, if you want to call it this. And these are all products that I have reviewed for Amazon. And Amazon figured out that people really want to hear from somebody else about a product. So for example, here is an impact wrench. And if you should look at the product, you'll get these pictures. But if you click here, you can see these videos. And if you look on the right-hand side, there's these videos at the top that are the company videos. And then there's what is called Amazon influencer videos. And this is one that I did.
Wow. I mean, that is remarkable.
So I have done this for hundreds of Amazon products. Here's one on a ladder. And my video here deals with comparing.
Okay, so first thing to notice is the lightweight. It definitely is very easy to handle. And
so comparing it to a regular ladder. So the way this works is anytime somebody's shopping on Amazon and they click one of my videos and watches 30 seconds and end up purchasing the product, I get paid a commission by Amazon. This is really important. Amazon has got incredible statistics about what happens when you have an independent person talking about that product versus the company talking about that product. And you'll see how this ties back to what I'm doing with Daniel Discovers Comfort and tying it back to the sales part of the cycle. So with all these other business activities well established and on their way, I decided I want to step into a sales position. I didn't want to wear all the different business hats anymore. Back in South Africa, I also had a greeting card business, and some of my sales reps actually made more money than I did as the business owner. And that always sort of stuck with me. So I applied to work as a comfort consultant for a big national chain. I used them for plumbing in Austin, and they were excellent. So I figured this is a great company. Well, it turned out the local office here was not so good. Anytime I asked a technical question from the sales manager, he would go, "You're overthinking it, just find out what size they have and replace it with the same." And I quickly realized this is not a good fit for me. However, during that time, I developed an instant online way of bidding HVAC because I knew how to do this given what my son and I had done for the kitchen and bath business. So I reached out to a few companies and spoke with one of them, spoke with the general manager of one of these companies on the phone for a good hour and a half. And he asked me if I could wait to interview with the owner who was overseas at the time. And after that conversation, I realized this is a great fit. So yes, I waited. And in fact, during that time, I was still running my Facebook ads and I started sending the leads to this company, even though I wasn't working for them. And they closed some of them and paid me handsomely for getting those leads. So when I finally met the owner of this company, who turns out to be a legend in the industry, he's really the guy that developed the whole concept of generating a lead from the store. I thought he was going to be all excited about my lead generation activities. Well, it turned out that he wasn't. And I just zipped my mouth and decided I'm going to find out what he needs and wants and deliver that. And so I did. So 2023 was my first full year with the company. I ended up with $2.9 million worth of sales, and that put me in the second highest producing position out of a sales group with about 16 people. I was pretty happy with that. And I very quickly developed a way to talk to people about air conditioning in a way that they can really understand. The feedback I got was phenomenal. People were like, no one else has explained it to me as well as you did. So I had to be a quick study. So one of the things that made me very successful very quickly is I had very good photography with projects, installations that I photographed from start to finish. So if a customer asked me a technical question, I knew exactly where to go, and I could take them through the sequence and show them what a good installation looks like. I actually made this material available to other sales people in the company. I'm not sure if any of them ever used it. But finally, this whole thing came together and I went, it's time for me to take it into video format. And that's when I created my YouTube channel called Daniel Discovered Comfort. So just to show you a little bit more about how well this is working, the company that I sell for uses Rilla. It's a tool that records the sales conversations, and there's all this AI analysis afterwards. So this is a sales call where the customer watched all the videos on my website. And I have one where I talk about getting multiple bids and getting the best deal. And I'll play a snippet for you, and then when I ask for the close, this is what happened. Here's what I suggest you do. Turn around and sell them and say, hey, what else can you do for me if we do this today? All right, so listen to this.
System.
No, it'll all be new. It'll all be
That's
blind.
what I was-
Yeah. So let's sign you up so we can come and do this for you.
How long does it take to?
One day.
As you said on your video, if we do it today, what can you do for us?
You're a good. Well, I knew that you watched the video, so I already did everything I can. No, believe me, 25% off the top.
Yeah, as much you could do.
Yeah, it's absolutely the maximum.
I tell you what you could do is
Well,
something.
I'm going to add the extra filter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's what I can do.
That's good.
So there you have it. I'm telling you it works because I'm personally using this. So here we are in 2024, and I'm looking at the number of leads coming in from these stores, and I just don't see it as being adequate. I mean, there's a tremendous effort made by the company to hire those in-store lead generators. Very difficult position to hire for. And I talk to those people, and the feedback I'm getting from them is, I have a lot of people walking past me pointing to that unit and saying, how much is it? And when I ask these lead generators, what's the age group of these people? It's always the younger person. So one of the easiest deals I ever closed was to a young couple with no children. They had researched the company. They'd been on a Facebook group for their neighborhood to find out more about us. They knew everything about the product, and they knew the price. And I mean, I just walked in and took an order. It was a $16,000 order. It probably took 15 minutes. So I finally went, okay, the time for really putting these two things together, my content creation and producing this online quote, the time is now. So I hope you can see how all of this came together. Let me show you how this works. First of all, there's these ads that are created that can be run on various different platforms. Those ads get run by your agency. I'm not an agent. I don't want to be an agent. I want to concentrate on providing the best possible online bidding and the best possible communication to new HVAC shoppers. So if you don't have an agency, here's a really good resource. This is a podcast by Accelerated HVAC Success. Ben Middleton, he's the National Sales Training Manager for Daikin, Goodman and Amana. And he's got these video recorded podcasts, and I'm telling you, he has interviewed some marketing people that are brilliant. This particular video here and this lady over here, I mean, these people really know what they're doing. So if you need help with the recommendation on an agency, I'd be happy to help. But the bottom line is that we create an ad, and now keep in mind, the people who will see this ad on their feed are people that have searched for HVAC recently. So we already know that there's a need. The next thing we're looking for is engagement, and that's really important nowadays. And that's why a lot of old Facebook ads just don't work anymore, because unless the customer can engage and learn something instantly, they're just not interested in clicking. So we do tell them here, get an AC replacement quote online in seconds. That's super important. So now the customer can engage and we know they have the need. So then you get the lead and set the appointment. It's exclusive to you. This lead does not go anywhere else but to you. By the time you contact the customer, they already have the cost for the equipment and the financing quoted, and there's no sticker shock, and your closing rates skyrocket. So let me show you how it works. Customer clicks there, and they will arrive at a page that looks similar to this. It won't necessarily have this branding, but it's not a page on your website. So you don't have to do anything on your website for this to be implemented. So the first question is, what style of home matches yours? Let's say it's a single family home. How do you generate your heat? Let's say it's through natural gas. Where is your unit located? Let's say the attic. And where is your outdoor unit located? On a pad on the ground. And let's say it's a 2-ton unit house size. And how many total heating units do you have? Let's say it's 1. What's your zip code? We'll just use mine. Next. Now, this is super important. And there are other people that are doing something similar in the industry, and none of them are offering this. And I can tell you, a millennial's not going to give them, they're not going to give you their email address, name, and phone number unless there's a real compelling exchange. And in this case, it's not just that I'm going to give you a price, but you're going to get all this additional free information. So in this case, it says after submission, you'll instantly receive a quote online along with a link to what you need to know when buying an AC unit. And again, the positioning here is that it's not coming from that company, right? It's coming from an influencer. Think back of the thing I showed you on Amazon. So now they click next. Maybe please have your name. We'll go with my name here. And now here's another little teaser, because we're about to ask for an email address. So insider buying secrets and a high quality installation, great information about to head your way. So they click next, and this is where we'll use this email address. And next, can we have your phone number? And we'll use this one. And next, when would you like to have the system installed? Let's say as soon as possible. What kind of price range are you interested in? Let's say mid-tier. And now they hit submit. And boom, there they have it. A 2-ton air conditioner and gas furnace, single stage technology, and variable speed technology. And the price per month is right here. So there they can see the total price, and then different quotes based on different payment periods and interest rates. But we lead with the lowest monthly payment. If this was displaying on a phone, then this section will show up first, and this section will be just below that. And this is designed to be friendly for use on a phone. So then next we say book your measurement appointment. We don't call it a sales appointment. And we'll need about 60 minutes to look at your unit and ductwork, confirm the load calculations and sizes, discuss the options that fit your needs, and get financing that's right for you. So obviously it's going to require a visit to verify all these things. They can book now, they can book an appointment, we can have a calendar section in here, or they can simply call the company, and of course you're going to be reaching out to them also. And then here we deliver what we promise, which is get up to speed on how to buy. So when they click that, they arrive at my website where this content will always be updated and expanded, and they can learn more. The purpose here is really to sell it for you. We want by the time you arrive, we want this thing to be sold. And part of that evolves around this, where we have product videos, so now they can research the products. And then about you as a company, we'll take great care of you. So some pictures, and then a link to your website. We have other design options here, which may include a link directly to your online reviews. Now, let's see. What's the consumer going to receive? Your HVAC estimate. This will be branded with your logo. And again, here it says, here's the link for more information. And as you scroll down, there are actually options on all the different sizes. So if they want to know what a 3-ton unit costs, they can click on that and have that also. What do you receive as a company? Let's take a look. So here's your form, and it tells you the type of home, the type of heating, where it's located, the tonnage, the zip code, and there you have the name of the customer, you have their email address, and you have their phone number. And they're telling you they want it as soon as possible. So based on the statistics that I have, 1 out of 10 people will just make the appointment immediately. The rest of them may still need to be moved up to interest, right? Multiple touches or whatever you want to call it. The thing about selling is that if somebody tells you I'm not interested, or they're mildly interested, or they're sort of resisting the sale, as the salesperson, your job is to keep on creating interest. You don't really have to handle all the objections. You just create more interest. And the purpose of my YouTube channel is to help you create that. Whether it's your agency or yourself sending follow-up emails, what you want to do is not just send an email saying, hey, did you come right, or are you still looking for a unit? You want to send something they can look at. So in this case, my YouTube shorts are actually very helpful. I mean, here's an example of showing, let's say, the quantum coil. So here you can see the quantum coil made by Lennox. See, these pipes are all... And I find people really watch these things. They're short. There's a lot of discipline involved in doing these shorter videos, but they create a lot of interest. So this is a great way to stay in touch with people and move that percentage that really eventually should be in the 70 to 80% of leads coming in should be converted to an appointment. This is a great tool for getting there. In air conditioning and in these old coils. So the key thing here is that unlike the traditional Facebook ad where you're doing this branded advertising and somebody clicks and then they end up on your website and now they have to figure out what to do next, this gets them right into action. They get that price immediately, and they get more information immediately, and they get the information from a source other than you as a company. They feel it's independent information, and by the time you arrive, they are educated and they are ready to buy. You don't need the best website in your city to get there. We can identify that this person's looking for an air conditioner. We show the ad, we give them that price, and we give them this information, and that just puts you ahead of the game. So if we take this concept and project it 10, 20 years into the future, what's it going to look like? Well, for one, we're going to have smart thermostats. We're probably not going to go to people's homes twice a year because we're going to be able to monitor things remotely and call them up and say, we notice you're having trouble reaching temperature, we're sending a technician out. I mean, there are a lot of changes coming to this industry, and that includes how we sell this equipment. The fact is that even today, a customer can get as many bids as they want, right? They can call 10 people, 100 people. There's nothing that prevents them from doing that. So imagine for a moment that we have a city where every HVAC company in that city is providing an online price. What's going to set them apart, right? It's going to be your online reviews and how well are you communicating with that customer. If the customer says, I'm looking for a unit, and they shop around, you can raise and drop your pricing based on the shoulder season, really just as we're doing right now. But look how inefficient it is for us as an industry. When somebody is getting 5 different quotes, we're sending 5 different trucks and 5 different salespeople spending hours of time. I mean, is that really what we want to do? I know that that came from the concept of, if I'm spending all this money on advertising to generate a lead, I want to send a real person there who can do a good value proposition for my company. Well, the fact is, there are other ways to do that. So if you want to be relevant, please jump on this now. If you're in that headspace I was in when my son first suggested we provide kitchen and bathroom remodel bids online, I want you to think about this. Remember Kodak. Kodak owned the image business. Kodak should have become Facebook, right? They owned that business. In fact, Kodak owned the patent to the first digital camera. So think about how many of those old people in the old leadership must have just insisted that the future's in film, right? We're putting kiosks inside Walmart or inside pharmacies, and look at these new displays we have. The future's in film, and all the time the sales of film is just dropping, and today Kodak is history. If those guys looked into the future and said, what do we need to do to stay relevant? Kodak could have been the Facebook of today. This is coming, and if you want to stay relevant to the new generation, and you know that the Gen Z to millennials are sort of in the 25 to 45 age range, you can show them that you care about their time. You can give them an opportunity to check you out online, and you can make this really easy for both the customer and yourself. So stay relevant. Let's get this done. I can assure you, you will see the results of well-qualified leads rolling in within days of getting going. I look forward to working with you.